Burgundy Ballers, welcome back to an episode of the Ballin and Burgundy podcast with your boys Jon and Andrew. Justin is off working; he's got his day off, but obviously he's working me in the fireman. So two's up in the chat. But we are in the final stretch before the NFL draft on Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and I can't wait. But we got a loaded episode for you guys. But before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. Turn the post notification bell to let you know every time we upload. And we will be live 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube Thursday night for the first round of the NFL draft. I will be the main guy for on YouTube. If you guys want to come in, stay in the chat, get live with me. We're gonna get jiggy with it. We're gonna have a good time on Thursday. You ready, Andrew?
Oh, I'm so ready. I've been waiting for this for months now. All this preparation and looking, and we can't do anything about it, but it's just going to be so fun seeing what actually happens. Every year, there's some things you just don't expect. You're not ready for. I mean, last year it's us taking Jahan Dotson at 16 and reaching for him. There's going to be surprises this year, just like there's every year, and I cannot wait to see what those are.
I can't wait either. Guys, like I said, we got a loaded episode, so we're going to start things off of what changed the NFL landscape Monday afternoon. Aaron Rodgers is finally a New York Jet. They sent over quite a package. So the Jets received Aaron Rodgers, the number 15 overall pick, and this year's fifth round pick, number 170, for New York's number 13 overall, a second round this year, number 42, a sixth round of this year, number 207, and a conditional 2024 second round pick that could change to a first if Aaron Rodgers plays 65% of the snaps for the Jets. So really the Packers are getting a first round pick next year.
Most likely.
Let's be honest. Like Aaron Rodgers would have to miss 7 games for that not to happen, and he won't miss 7 games.
I'd be surprised by that too. It's quite a large player regarding someone who's this old as he is.
Yep.
But nonetheless, it's Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yep.
I can understand it. The Jets are in a turnaround year. They've got a deadly offense. And this is just going to top it off after having to deal with Zach Wilson all year. They're going to be fun to watch next season.
Yeah. They're going to be quite fun. I mean, Garrett Wilson, the offensive rookie of the year. You've got Breece Hall coming back from injury. You've got Corey Davis, right there as your number 3. You paid Allen Lazard this year $44 million to come on in. You still got CJ Uzomah for you grabbed from last year. On defense, top 5 defense, Jermaine Johnson, Sauce Gardner, the defensive rookie of the year. You've got CJ Mosley at linebacker. You've got guys up front that can, Carl Lawson right there along with Jermaine. You got pieces all over. If I'm the Jets, go get me an O-lineman at 15, give me, someone on defense at 43, and just build your trenches, build your depth. Maybe you go get Dalton Kincaid or you go get Michael Mayer or Darnell Washington. Even though you took Jeremy Ruckett last year out of Ohio State, I think, those 2 tight ends right there would change your world. From the Packers, sitting at number 13, it's receiver or tight end. I don't think they're going to need O-line help, but go get a weapon. I mean, you haven't taken a weapon in the first offensive weapon in the first round since Brian Bulaga?
Yeah, I don't even know about that.
No, it was 2020. It was Jordan Love.
Oh, yeah.
It was Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Who
is now their starting quarterback.
Starting quarterback.
Jackson or some weapons or Kincaid or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It could happen.
Yeah, I mean, they still have A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, who are great running backs in their own respect. Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson are young, youthful receivers coming into coming to the NFL. You don't know who your tight end is going to be. Rob Tunyon went to the Bears in the offseason, and your defense is kind of hit and miss. Jair Alexander, Darnell Savage, guys like that. But then Quay Walker wasn't what you thought he was going to be, coming into the draft, because he was, part of that Georgia defense and he was a baller. And then he wasn't all that great this past year on defense. So if I'm, the Packers at 15, I go receiver like Quentin Johnston or Jordan Addison, I go tight end. I'd go Dalton Kincaid. He's a better pass catcher than he is a blocker. But for what you're going to run in that offense, you're probably going to want a pass catcher. I think the Packers won this trade by a mile. You swap first, you get a second, a sixth, and then let's be real, a first round pick next year. It could stay a second if God forbid something happens, but you get a first round next year.
And also regarding how much Aaron Rodgers would cost you if you kept him, that might even be one of the biggest parts there.
Yeah.
It just wasn't reasonable for them. I mean, he's been a huge part of their franchise for so many years. Respect to him, amazing player, not one of my favorites, but incredible talent.
Yeah.
But it's sort of just it was time for them to move on. Yeah.
It definitely was. I mean, he was coming up on a fairly big contract here. He was gonna warrant like 50 million this next coming year. So the fact that they trade him and get a decent haul for him, I think they create like 40 million cap space this year for the Packers.
Wild, yeah.
Use some of that money. Now that you've gotten Aaron Rodgers out the way, what's stopping you now from going through your third round of free agency? Kind of who's left? Who could we trade? Let's say a sixth round for. Who could we rehire this year? Use the money. This year for them it's going to be playing on house money, and then next year you've got essentially 2 firsts, a second, a third, and probably 60 million cap space next year. Build up where you can. If Jordan Love's not the answer, you've got capital to go. Yeah, capital next year. You got capital grow. Next, if he is the guy, next year you just build on top of that. You go O-line, you go offense, you go defense, you go special teams, wherever. Packers are just playing on which got an open hand of cards waiting to use them.
Yeah, I mean, they were a team that was sort of going on the downside, not looking like they were going to be the next rebuild, but this could actually help them in the rebuild. I know it sounds kind of strange, Aaron Rodgers leaving, your franchise quarterback, but this kind of honestly could help them becoming a good team again.
It definitely could. I think Jordan Love coming out of Utah State got put in a kind of a bad spot. They traded up to get him. First off, no one saw the Packers trading up to get Jordan Love. They were hoping maybe, it's Patrick Queen, the linebacker. It's Zach Bond, who went to the Saints. Turned out to be Jordan Love. 3 years later, now he's the presumed and probable starting quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, just with a severely different roster. When, let's say he took over in 2021, you still had Allen Lazard, you still had Devontae Adams, you still had Rob Tunney, you still had a top 20-ish, maybe, defense. But now you've got a bottom 10 defense. You've got still your running backs, but you've got young receivers. You've got a back and forth O-line who can't stay healthy to save their life. This draft is going to be a big one for Gutekunst. If he says, okay, Jordan Love's our answer this year, and if they win 10 games, great. If they draft this year and they go 5 games, now, for next season, you've got ammo to spend.
Yep. Yeah, it could be a big turnaround for them. They could come back here. I agree.
Yeah. Well, speaking of turnaround years and money to spend, let's talk about these Chase Young, Montez Sweat trade rumors. Oh, boy. So over the past, few days, weeks, little trade whispers and stoking the fire on some of these mock drafts that Sports Illustrated puts out, that the 33rd team puts out, that ESPN puts out. They have us trading Montez Sweat or Chase Young during the draft. The 2019 26th overall pick, Montez Sweat, and the 2022nd overall pick, Chase Young, could be on the move this draft. What do you think?
They could be on the move. I personally hope they don't, but it's absolutely a possibility that they do. And if they do get traded, it's probably a draft night trade, right?
Yeah.
It's going to get them picks. It's going to set them up a little bit more, especially Chase Young, who's someone who still has potential. Being a second overall pick and not having played too much, he could definitely warrant some picks. Montez Sweat, amazing pass rusher, not as many sacks, but so many quarterback pressures, just creating disruption back in the pocket. He's also going to be worth quite a bit. And then also, they're going to warrant some money in the future, which we're looking at and be like, ooh, can we pay those guys?
Yeah.
Who do we have to not pay in order to pay them? What's that going to look like? Can we replace him with an edge in this draft? There's a lot of different ways that it could go. I mean, we've talked about this before. Like, should we trade Chase Young? Should we not? I've said before, I'm more on the no side just because he could absolutely come back to himself. He might not. He might still be bad. That would suck. But I think there's just too much of a what if. Montez Sweat, it would be so hard for me to break up that duo, knowing that we could just replace him with some potential player. Or like, yeah, I don't know. I'm on the no side, but it might happen. And who knows? What if it is the right choice?
Yeah, who knows indeed. Because coming up on this, the 2024 pay cut, the pay schedule, all of our edge rushers are going to be due for a contract. Montez is going to be warning a contract. They have until May 2nd. They said they're going to do on May 2nd. They will decide if they want to pick up Chase's fifth-year option or not.
Tomorrow for sure.
If they do, it's 17 and some change $1 million to him, which is big. F.A. Obata, Smith Williams. They now suspended Shaka Tony. You fucking idiot for gambling, but I'm not gonna talk about that right now. I'm not getting sidetracked. They're all due for contracts. They're all on 1 year left contracts. Obviously Chase being injured the true past 24 months. He came back week 15 against the Niners, where we got destroyed. He put up in those 3 games, I think a sack and a half. In the final 3 games, he put up a sack and a half. The 2021 season the 2021 season, before ultimately getting injured. So, I kind of agreed. Justin was saying, kind of trade him, see what you can get. I've said let him, try to let him cook this season. If he can get, 9.5 sacks, if he can just outdo his rookie year of 6 or 7 sacks, I'd keep him, see what he can get. If he has 5.5 sacks over 12 games, you might be looking at a trade there, bud.
With less value.
With much less value.
Yep.
Because guys like Seattle, guys like Baltimore, Carolina, Jacksonville, I'm thinking of another team that could, New England, all could use edge rushers. And if we trade him this year, could we get a second and a third for him? Could we get a first and a fourth? Could we get a second, fourth, and fifth next year to build capital? Or do we wait a year and something happens and we trade him next year and we only get a third and a fifth, or a fourth and a fifth? This is like Trent Williams, except he's not requesting a trade. We are looking at the market. If it is a trade night and let's say we get Jacksonville's 2nd round pick and their 5th round pick, I'd be fine with it. I would be a little shocked. Because I think Chase Young, being so young, he's only 23 years old. That's what everyone forgets. He's 23. Montez is only like 25. They're young, big guys and great edge rushers coming out of college. I would, if I had a trade, I'd probably trade Chase over Sweat. Sweat's put up more. Obviously, he's played more games, but he's produced more defense. Kind of, has more disruption around him. Chase, is a better locker room guy. He was there, most of the games, rallying the guys up, getting them fired up. Sweat, you could maybe get a really, really, really late round first if you tried your damnedest. Like we said, we'll give the Texans Sweat in a 4th. You give us number 33, something like that. Could it happen? Yeah. Would it happen? Probably not. But I don't know. I wouldn't trade them. I'd pick up Chase's 5th year so you get another year out of him. And worst case, you only spent 17 mil versus, let's say, pay him next year. He's going to warrant 20, 22 mil with these edge rusher contracts. I mean, Bosa's going to get like a 5-year extension, or if he hasn't already got a 5-year extension. Bosa coming out of college wasn't as hyped as Chase Young. Chase Young was the superior guy to Bosa. And Bosa was the defensive player of the year last year. 18.5 sacks. For good reason. So
yeah. Go ahead.
I just don't know. I say don't trade him, but this is a good edge, draft year. You got guys in every single round who's putting up good numbers. I don't know what I do.
Me neither. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, it's just so complicated. Montez Sweat for me is a definite no.
Yeah.
Chase Young, if we did trade me, like, okay, well, let's see what comes of it, See who we draft with those picks that we got, if it really does add up and how he performs. Not that it would matter, but I mean, yeah, I feel like even just thinking about how long we have our edge rushers on contracts and how next year we're going to need edge rushers, I think regardless of a trade, we're going to need to draft an edge rusher. And this could be a surprise pick as early as a day 2 pick. I truly believe that. And yeah, it's weird.
It's definitely weird. I wouldn't pick one up in the first or second. I think we have too many pressing needs at corner, O-line, and linebacker. But I'm looking at what PFF has out at. You have Nick Herbig out of Wisconsin, ranked 64 in their PFF. You have Isaiah Folkley out of Notre Dame. You have Isaiah McGuire out of Missouri. You have Carl Brooks out of Bowling Green. KJ Henry, Clemson. Andre Carter out of Army. He's supposed to fall. A guy I've fallen in love with.
Yep.
Okay.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. I like Andre Carter.
Yeah. Okay, I think Carter will fall, but he's a good pass rusher. A guy I've fallen in love with in mock drafts. You and Justin have seen it. I've sent it to Washington on the Daily. Shout out to him, one of our sponsors, and he's been like, it's an interesting guy you grabbed. I'm probably gonna botch his name, but Vilamai Vahoko out of San Jose State, 6'4", 276. A 90.9 season grade. This past year, 78, 2021, but an 87 in 2020. Like, he was putting up major stats. I mean, last year alone, 12 sacks, 2020, 8 sacks, 2020 or 2021, 8 sacks, 2020, 6 sacks. Like, he's been aggressively getting better and better throughout the year. And, he's ranked 141. I've gotten him as high as 125 if I do a trade back, as low as 160. So with our 5th round at 150, I'd go edge.
Yeah,
I'd take it. I mean, you have, other guys, Jose Ramirez out of Eastern Michigan, Lonnie Phelps out of Kansas, MJ Anderson out of Iowa State, Ali Gay out of LSU. I mean, Brenton Cox, my Florida boy, out of Florida. I mean, you've got, edge rushers out the wazoo in this draft. I think for us, I'd still take one just so that we have the depth purposes and we have the overall just backup plan. If we do trade one, or, let's say Chase holds out, I don't think he will, but let's say he holds out, this next year, we say, all right, bet. Let's put in your round 5 replacement. And at this 5th round picks, let's say it gets, 9.5 sacks, 3 pressures, 4 QB hits. Well, wait a second. I got him on a 4-year deal for like $12 million. What do I got to pay you 24? So I don't know. Things are going to get weird. Things are going to get dicey and tricky in this draft.
Yeah. What would you think we would do? Let's say we trade Chase Young. You think we take an edge day 2 and one edge like round 6 or 7?
Yeah.
For that? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think let's say we trade Chase for a 2nd, a 5th, and a 6th, just for, depth wise. I'd use our 3rd round pick, like 97.
Mm-hmm.
I'd use a 5th round on the guy to the San Diego State guy I just mentioned. Use him on the 5th round. Maybe you grab Carter or Herbig right there in the 3rd round. I go O-line, corner, linebacker with 1647. Let's say we pick up a 2nd round pick. Let's say it's like 55. Go linebacker or go corner there. You now picked up one of each need. You get 2 edge rushers later. You pick up your O-line and more in the rest of the draft. You've got a good depth position. Because depth for us has never been a great strength for us.
Yeah, no, we need that, especially for edge right now.
Yeah. I mean, looking at our depth chart for edge rushers, James Smith-Williams and F.A. Obata. Smith-Williams is questionable. Obviously, Shaka Toney got suspended, and you have Bennington Poto and Abdullah Anderson from free agency. Not the greatest depth, not the the best guys. I mean, Abdullah Anderson from the Falcons, 27 years old. He had a sack last year when he played. 6'4", 295. He's built like it says he's our backup DM, but he's really built like a D tackle.
Bigger guy.
Big guy, just bad depth kind of all around. So I'd probably still take an edge, just maybe one edge regardless. I don't know if we take two, but probably take one just to share it up.
Yep.
Yeah. By now, everyone knows Shaka Toney got suspended. You gambling motherfucker. Guys, if you're going to gamble responsibly. FanDuel, DraftKings, Prize Picks. Do it respectfully. Do it, responsibly, respectfully. Don't be like Tony, Jamison Williams, those guys who did it in the building that they play in, because the NFL has strict gambling. Calvin really got suspended a year and has just been reinstated. You're going to gamble with your future now, because Tony's suspended indefinitely. The Lions had to release two of their guys that got suspended indefinitely. Jamison Williams and one of their other guys is missing the first 6 games because of the gambling. Why? That's stupid.
Not even using your brain at that point. It makes no sense.
So Jamison Williams is going to gamble his $25 million contract to win $500.
Something like that. Who knows?
It just blows my mind that even happens. I expect Shaka to be released by the end of the offseason just because of that. And that's where the edge would come in. Yep. But speaking of draft, like I said earlier, this is the final stretch.
Ballers, hold up. We got a few sponsors we need to personally thank for here at Ballin and Burgundy. First, our guy Washington on the Daily, both on Instagram and YouTube. Huge sponsor. We want to give our massive thanks out to them. You can follow Washington on the Daily, both on Instagram and on Twitter, WSH on the Daily. Our guy Tony, who's Pro Tech Sports Network. Huge thanks to him. I met up with him at the Commanders-Vikings game. Huge thanks to him. Our guy Sanchez at On the Warpath podcast over on YouTube and on Instagram. And then finally, our guy Rio Robinson, Mr. Rambling with Rio himself, our new sponsor, and a huge thanks to him. Met up with him at the Vikings Commanders game as well. So thank you to him. Again, huge thanks. Again, all of their Instagrams and YouTubes are going to be down in the description. You guys go follow all of them. And again, one big thank you to Rio, Tony, Sanchez, Washington on the Daily for being sponsors of not only today's video, but Ballin and Burgundy as a podcast. Get back to work.
And now we return you to our regular scheduled program
for the NFL draft. And who knows mock drafts better than your boys here at BIB? We've got one last mock draft, but with a twist. Instead of doing a 7-round Commanders, fantasy draft, we're going all 32 teams, one round. We're going to hike it up, bring the randomness down. We are going to predict all of the picks for the first 32 picks. There's really only 31 because the Dolphins had to forfeit their pick because of their owner and whatnot. But we're going to go. I'm going to let Andrew, I'm going to let you do the odd numbers. So 1, 3, 5, 7. I'll do the evens, 2, 4, 6, 8. Just kind of give me just a quick glance of what you're thinking at that position and why. And I'll do the same and we'll get this thing started. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's get this show on the road. Number 1 overall is the Carolina.
Number 1 overall in the 2023 NFL draft, I'm taking Bryce Young, 98 on his cognition test, by far the best quarterback in my opinion.
Yep, absolutely. I think Bryce Young is the consensus number 1 overall pick.
Yep.
Betting odds now have, Will Levis shooting it from 4,000 to 400 because of some Reddit post.
That
He
was
won't go
hilarious.
first overall. It was funny. But if you put mayo in your coffee and eat the banana with the peel on, you're not a first overall pick. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Number 2 here overall to the Houston Texans. There has been a lot of chatter about the Texans not taking a QB here at number 2. I'm going to not listen to those rumors and take a quarterback, but it's not going to be the quarterback you expect. I'm not going to take CJ Stroud here at number 2 overall. Him having the same agent as Deshaun Watson will create friction and tension. And what he scored on the test, like you're saying, 98% for Bryce Young, CJ Stroud had like a 29, 28. 17, thank you.
Yep.
That was what, the second or third lowest in the class?
Horrendous. Yeah, he's not going to be good this year. Mark my words. I'm putting it out here now. He's going to fail out of the NFL. I'm just putting it out here. Okay.
Okay. Well, the second overall pick in the 2023 NFL draft, the Houston Texans select Anthony Richardson, quarterback out of Florida. I think the potential is there. You pair him up with guys like John Mechie, who's coming back. Your defense is young and up and coming. You have Damian Pierce, your old running back, buddy out of Florida. Now you've got a sensational, duo back there. You bring in Robert Woods as your receiver. He's a nice vet. You pick up, let's say, a receiver at 12. You're building up nicely.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's absolutely something could happen.
Yeah.
Number 3, Cardinals do not need a quarterback. They have Kyler Murray, but they're still going to suck, I think. I'm taking Will Anderson Jr. here. He has been pretty much the consensus if he does come down to 3.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if they were going to trade out of 3, they trade by now, or it will be a right on the spot trade. And if that happens, you guys will see it, with me and the crew when we go live on Thursday. I'm going to plug that in again. Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. EST. We're going live just before the draft during the first round. Then the consensus number 1 defensive player on this board, Jalen Carter was that, and he fell off because of the off the field things. So Will Anderson is the grab. Number 4 overall, the Indianapolis Colts. They do need a quarterback. Nick Foles is not your answer. Matt Ryan is not your answer. Sam Ellinger is not your answer. Your answer is going to be Will Levis at 4 overall. They are passing up on CJ Stroud with Levis, and the Colts have been linked together for the past 2 weeks, and it seems like a Chris Ballard type of GM move to make. Good arm, tall guy, just got to work on the smarts up here. Other than that, you pair him up with a Michael Pittman, a Mo Alley Cox, a Jonathan Taylor, and your defense is back and forth, but still kind of young. I like it.
I do too. Yeah, I'd be surprised that Colts will not take him if he falls to 4.
Yeah.
They've even said publicly that they really like him and that they want him. So that would not surprise me one bit. Number 5, I'm taking Jalen Carter here. Seahawks, one of their biggest needs is defensive line. Jalen Carter, big guy, tons of talent, coming from Georgia. Obviously, there's that off the field, the car accident and all that stuff. It could cause some drama. But I think they're going to look over that and look for their needs in defensive line here.
Absolutely. I've seen some where they go offense, they go offensive line, or they go quarterback to Cipiancino. I think it'll be Jalen Carter. I don't think he'll fall very far. If he does, it's still be within the top 10. If he falls out of it, not only was it a cocky move on him to not meet with guys outside the top 10, but it shows off the field it plays just as much importance as on the field does.
Yeah.
6th here to the Lions. They traded Jeff Okudah for a 5th. Their best corner is Amari Uzie, if that. They go corner here at 6. They could go Christian Gonzalez. They could go Bangs, Porter. They will go Devon Witherspoon. Illinois, the best corner I think on most draft boards. Just the talent is there. Gonzalez is probably a better, ceiling guy. But Witherspoon, his physicality, and you pair him up with, Motor City Dan Campbell, oh, they're gonna kill some kneecaps.
Absolutely. It's either him or Gonzalez there. Gonzalez has been inconsistent throughout his college career. It was only this last year that he really shined and showed everyone that he's capable. He's still going to be a top 10 pick.
Yeah, easily.
But he might not be the first cornerback. He could be, he might not be. So I think that's absolutely realistic. Okay, we got the Raiders. I'm almost tempted to take CJ Stroud here, but I feel like it's either going to be him or the Falcons that get him. I'm going to say that the Raiders will take CJ Stroud.
Take him.
I'll take CJ Stroud here.
Alrighty. I like that pick. You sit behind Jimmy G for a year. You got Devontae Adams, presumably Josh Jacobs. If he signs it's his franchise tag. You've got Hunter Renfrow there. You've got a young O-line. I don't hate that at all. No, I don't hate that at all. The Falcons, here at number 8, they signed Jesse Bates. He traded for Jeff Okudah. So I don't think you go cornerback here. I think you go defense. And I'm going to go edge. They need someone to get to the quarterback. They have not had a great pass rush in the past few years. Dante Fowler was supposed to be that guy. He wasn't. So I'm going to go number 8 overall out of the University of Georgia, Nolan Smith. Over Tyree Wilson, over everyone else. If it wasn't for his other, teammates, I think he would have had a much bigger shine. You're in a 4.39 at the draft, or at the combine, excuse me. There's no way you don't deserve this pick.
That's a good pick. Yeah, I like that. He could be, like you said before, a sleeper. He could go higher than he's projected on here. He could go top 10. He could go there. It's a possibility. I'm with you. Bears. There is 2 people I'm debating between here. I'm debating between the tackle from Northwestern, and I'm debating between Christian Gonzalez. I'm going to go. I'm going to say they take Christian Gonzalez.
Okay.
I feel like it could go either way here.
Okay.
But I'm going to take Christian Gonzalez.
Big cornerback upgrade to Chicago. I was not expecting that.
Yep. Pass
10
over
here to the.
Yeah.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, you're good.
10 here at Philly. I think they would want to trade back if they can, take a more draft capital like Howie Roseman does. I'm going to go with the consensus best player, presumably in this draft, offensive wise, and take a running back, Bijan Robinson. I would hate it.
Yep.
I would hate it because I don't want such a good player in the NFC East, but I think it's going to happen. I think they take him.
Me too. Yeah. No, it's the Eagles, Cowboys, or someone else, but I feel like it's either going to be the Eagles or Cowboys, which worries me because I don't want to have to play them twice a year. But yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. It's either him or Jackson, I feel like, because there's a report that came out today about them looking at Jackson. So I feel like it's going to be one of those two. 11. I have a hard time seeing Peter Skronowski, whatever his last name is, fall this far.
Yeah.
They also really need a wide receiver.
Yeah, they do.
I'm going to assume they go for the offense here and take Jackson.
Jackson's been the check, but
I do.
okay. So you don't go out. So Peter keeps falling.
He does.
And I think he's going to keep falling again. I'm the Texans. I need wide receiver help. I would have taken Smith and Jigba. That was going to be my grab because I was thinking you go Skoronski because they need the O-line help if they keep King Henry. But you just messed up my plans. So in that case, I won't go receiver right now. I'm going to go to the defense. I'm looking at my man here from Pittsburgh, Kalaje Cansey, right here at 12. You help out the defense in a big way. You get a big boy. I mean, look at this guy. That 6'1", not as big, but 281, 8 sacks, this past year, 9 sacks the year before, coming into his own right there. I got to grab him.
It's a good pick.
I got to grab him. Packers. Post
Packers.
Aaron Rodgers trade Packers.
Yep. Ooh. I have a feeling that they are going to go with Dalton Kincaid here. They need a tight end. They've needed a tight end, and I think they're going to hope that he is their answer to help out Jordan Love.
I like that. I like that a lot. 14 here to the Patriots. I really think they go defense here. They need a lot of it. But that being said, the best player on the board is still currently on the board as a tackle. Peter Skoronski from Northwestern will not fall this far. I'm putting
No, I don't think so.
He will be Peter Skoronski will be a top 10 pick, guaranteed. Lock it in right now. If you're a betting man, you can make that lock right there. But if I'm in New England and he's right there, Trent Brown has been pretty good. Isaiah Wynn is still a free agent for a reason. I go Peter Skoronski.
Yep. Oh, man. I hate this just because I want him, and I think you already know who I think is going to go one pick before the Commanders, but my dream player, Paris Johnson Jr. They need a tackle, and I don't think he's fallen to us, but I want him to.
That I do too. Back-to-back tackles probably won't happen. Although Broderick Jones still on the board, so that could happen. 16 here to the Commanders. We all love it. We all want this to be a corner badly, but I'm trading back. I'm Martin Mayhew, Ron Rivera. We want picks for next year. We want picks for this year. I'm trading back with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
Going from 16 to 28. And I'm going to grab
Next year ammo.
and a little bit of this year, some background help. I'm picking up a second and a fourth next year. I'm picking up presumably a fourth, a fifth, and a sixth this year. And offer the trade.
It's accepted.
I'm going to try that again, but this time with the fifth.
Nice.
Here we go.
It's good.
So 28, 92, 131, 206, a second and a fifth next year for 16 to the Bengals. The Bengals need a little bit of help as well, and I think they go get that in Michael Mayer, tight end, Notre Dame.
Going 16. I like it.
On 16th.
All right. This is a cornerback needy team. And I think here they're either going Deonte Banks or Joey Porter Jr.
Yep.
I don't think anyone else is in the conversation here. I personally believe Banks has a pretty high ceiling and can be pretty good, but he has his issues right now. And I think that the Steelers are going to recognize that and take a slightly more developed player in Joey Porter Jr.
All righty. For those who don't know, Joey Porter Sr., his father, was a Pittsburgh Steeler as well. The family connection. You got the Haywards, you got the Watts,
Yep.
You got the Porters.
Yep.
18, the Detroit Lions. Now, at 6, I went Devon Witherspoon. Here I'll go offense. It says they need wide receiver and defense and tight end. I will go receiver. I will go Jordan Addison. USC. Pair him up with Amon St. Brown because you just had to release Cephas. Bring in a young stud at a USC, pair him up. I would have gone tight end, but I don't think Darnell Washington will go as high as this. So Jordan Addison is the grab here at 18.
Good pick. Bucks, they're a needy team on the decline.
Yep.
They're falling apart really quick, and there's a lot of positions they could use here. I think that they're going to go. I want to say someone on the line, but Brian Branch here is pretty tempting for them, I think.
Okay.
I'm taking Brian Branch.
Brian Branch.
Yep.
All righty. So you lose Sean Murphy Bunting and you pick up Brian Branch, corner to safety. That's a good grab. I like that a lot. 20 here to the Seattle Seahawks. You took Jalen Carter. I really like that. Here I go offense.
Mm-hmm.
Now it says we need guard and center. That's a little bit too high. So I'm going to go back to the offensive line. And I'm going to take Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
Tackle out of Georgia. He will solidify your offensive line. You pick up, I believe his name, Abraham Cross from last year, I believe is his name. You pair him up with Broderick Jones now. You've got a solid tackles at your line for Geno Smith.
Well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Now we got the Chargers. This is tough. I feel like they could go Banks here.
Okay.
And I feel like they could also go receiver here. I don't see. Click on receiver here.
I got you.
I can't remember who took her. Okay. I think it's either gonna be Quentin Johnson or Deontay Banks.
Okay.
Could go either way here.
Good.
However, knowing that they probably they have had injury issues with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams.
Yeah.
And they might not have both of them for so much longer. I'm going to be taking Quentin Johnson.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. Here at 22, the Baltimore Ravens. I will not be taking Lamar Jackson here. I could. I would have done it already, but I could. I won't. I'm going to go back to the offense. I will also take a receiver, and it will be Zay Flowers. It will be the speedster from Boston College. If they need, as much as they need edge and corner help, they need an offensive weapon if they want to keep Lamar. And if Anthony Brown is your backup, he needs someone he can throw the ball to whose name is not Mark Andrews. So Zay Flowers.
Mark Andrews with an OBJ and Zay Flowers trio is going to be deadly with Lamar.
It could
That's
be
really tough to go up against as the defense. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota here at 23.
I don't see Deontay Banks falling much further. I think he has to go here. Yeah.
Go here.
He just has a really good upside, a lot of potential. Obviously, he's had coverage issues.
Yep.
But with the right training and stuff, I think he could be a super good player for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's been ties to Washington and Deontay Banks. That's a great place for Minnesota. You lose Cameron Dancer, you pick up Deontay Banks. I like that. Jacksonville here at 24. They will go edge to help out Josh Allen and the crew. It will be a Clemson boy. It will be Miles Murphy. I don't think the fall for him will continue much farther. 24 Miles Murphy.
Nice. Okay. There isn't any centers, linebackers, or safeties this high up. And that's all listed on as their necessities.
Yep.
However, I think they're also a team that could be a surprise offensive line pick. Helping out Daniel Jones after his extension. However, I don't think they can keep rocking with these receivers. I think they need an upgrade. They have not proven to work. So I'm going to take receiver here. Well, no, because that's a reach. Check out trades here.
All right.
Check out trades.
Buffalo, us, the Saints, the Eagles, the Chiefs. The Chiefs could use a receiver.
They could, but I feel like they could go. They don't need to go up this far to get Josh Downs. But if the Giants are trading back for him,
Yeah.
that's just feels like sort of a swap. Check out New Orleans.
The New Orleans Saints at 29. So it wouldn't be much. You're moving up 4 spots.
No. See what they have to offer. All the late rounds. Interesting. Click on teams again. Who would the Eagles want here? Go back to the players super quick for me.
I got you.
Interesting. Tyree Wilson's still here. I did not see Tyree Wilson. I feel like let's have the Eagles trade up with them.
Eagles trade up. Interesting.
Let's see it.
Okay, so number 30, 94, and a 4th next year.
Try it. Yeah.
Trade up 5 spots with your division rival, and there it goes.
Nice.
So who do you have Philly grabbing and trading up to 25 for?
I have Philly going edge with Tyree.
Okay, Tyree Wilson, edge out of Texas Tech, being traded up for to Philly. Pair him up with Fletcher Cox. Pair him up with Josh Sweat, Son Reddick.
That's pretty nasty.
That is nasty. Dallas here at 26. Bijan is nowhere to be found. No decent receivers left. So I think, and you traded for Stephon Gilmore, all good and well. I think here at 26, they're going to reach on Jahmyr Gibbs.
Really? At 26. Okay.
I'm going to have them taking Jahmyr Gibbs here at 26. Pair him up with Tony Pollard. You got a nasty running backer, my friend.
Yep.
I don't think this will happen, but if I'm the Cowboys and Bijan's gone, I truly need a run. Well, what is defensive end? Before I make that selection, Mozzie Smith is still there. It's not bad. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to take that back. They go edge.
Yeah.
Back-to-back edge.
Pair him up with Micah.
Micah Parsons and Tank Lawrence with Luka Van Ness out of Iowa.
It's a good pick.
The Bills.
No linebackers this high.
Okay.
They could go D-line here,
Good.
but I feel like they're going to go Forbes.
Mano Forbes.
Corner. Yep.
Okay. I like that. I mean, they need help, especially with Damar Hamlin, your safety being in and out, and your corners being someone injured. I like that. Here we are, 28th overall. We trade back. We pick up a few late round picks, a second next year. Yeah, I'm going to grab my guy. I got to grab my Florida guy. Osiris Torrance, Florida. Give up a sack your entire college career. Grab him, and you say yes, please.
It's a good pick. Now he's so good.
He's great.
Yep. We got the Saints.
The New Orleans Saints.
Click on D-line for me here.
Absolutely.
I think Mozzie Smith is definitely an option. I think they're going to go Mozzie Smith here now that Osiris Torrance is gone.
Okay.
That's what I think, yeah.
Hey, Brian Brees still on the board is shocking. Giants at 29. I think they go back to the offensive line. I think they just need a little bit more help right there. And they will go Darnell Wright out of Tennessee. him and Andrew Thomas at your tackle positions. You've solidified help for Daniel Jones. Let's get him some protection.
I see the Chiefs reaching here a little bit and taking Downs.
Josh
Good.
Downs.
Pat needs his receiver.
Okay. You don't think Dell or Jalen Hyatt's worth the reach at 31?
They could be, but Downs is met with them. Is that correct?
I do believe so, actually, yes.
I don't remember seeing Hyatt or Dell. Have they met with them?
I would presume so, but I could be very wrong.
I feel like it's going to be Josh Downs here.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just me. I'm taking him.
Okay. So, some surprising picks, some different picks. Let me download this image. So, let's start back off. So, you took Bryce Young at 1.
Yep.
I went against the rumors and went Rodgers at 2. You went Anderson. I went Levis, Carter, Witherspoon. The first 6, I think you could solidify 3 of those as locks, being
Right.
Young, Anderson, and Devon Witherspoon. I think you could lock those in.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud falls to 7. Nolan Smith goes high at 8. That's on me, but I think they could use the help. Gonzalez to the Bears, excuse me. That's a big grab there.
Mhm.
Do I think it'll happen? Perhaps. I think they do go Skoronski. I like that a lot. Bijan to the Eagles, that's almost a guarantee at this rate. Smith and Jigba to Tennessee just before they needed one, but they went Kancey. You have the Packers going Dalton Kincaid. I really like that.
Yeah.
Skoronski falls to 14 to the Patriots. I like that. Paris Johnson goes to the Jets. I like that. Bengals trade up for Michael Meyer. They need a tight end to really kind of help that out. Porter goes to Pittsburgh. I like that a lot. Addison, I go to the Lions. You pair him up with Amon-Ra. You have a good receiving duo for Jared Goff. Brian Branch falls to 19 at Tampa. As long as they need a quarterback, I think they could wait on that. It'll be Baker, Kyle Trask. That's quarterback war this offseason. Broderick Jones to Seattle. You have big beasts on both sides of the ball. 2 Georgia guys might as well add. Quentin Johnson to the Chargers and Zay Flowers to the Baltimore Ravens. They all need help. They both need help. Dante Banks falls to the Vikings. Miles Murphy to the Jaguars. Eagles straight up with the Giants to take Tyree Wilson. Luke Van Ness to the Cowboys. Emmanuel Forbes to the Bills. Osiris Torrance to our Washington Commanders that we traded back for. Mozzie Smith to the Saints. Darnell Wright to the Giants. And Josh Downs to round out the first round. Get a good look. Get a good look, y'all. Let me decrease the screen size here. Get a good look at our first round pick. Do I think 80% of these will happen? Yes. I think the first 10, first 5 you could guarantee. Robinson you could guarantee. Johnson you could guarantee. Forbes you could guarantee. Downs you could almost guarantee.
Yep.
I really like this. I would give this an A-.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I feel like Tyree Wilson might go a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs could trade up for like Zay Flowers or another top receiver.
They could.
That happening. But yeah, I feel like overall this is pretty good. Peter, last name starts with S. Could go to, I think he's going to go top 10, like you said. Yeah. A little bit of a reach on Mayer by the Bengals, but they need a tight end besides Hurst.
Hayden Hurst is in Carolina now.
That's right. He is in Carolina. Yes. He's going to tie up with Bryce Young. So they really need a tight end now. Yep. Yeah.
Definitely. I think honestly, if you just swapped Gonzalez for Skoronski, give this an A+.
Yeah.
Because they need help there. They need help at tackle. You swap those and you're good to go.
Yeah.
It's
pretty good.
All righty. So like I said, guys, this is what we think will happen for the most part in the first round of the NFL draft. But we will know more Thursday night 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I will be live on the Ballin and Burgundy YouTube channel here at 7:30 on Thursday night. That came unplugged. I'll get it later. Anything else you want to add for tonight?
I can't wait for this. It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah.
Gonna have a lot of fun watching it. There's gonna be surprises. There's gonna be stuff we don't agree with. Maybe it'll be an awful draft. Maybe it'll be an amazing one. We'll see.
Who knows? But guys, don't forget to like and subscribe on the video on the channel. Go follow myself, Andrew, Justin, the podcast over on YouTube. Go follow the podcast over on TikTok. We got everything covered. Don't forget to tune in. Like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it until you guys tune in. Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be live on YouTube at the Ballin and Burgundy podcast. Guys, come into the chat room. Go live with me. We'll have the greatest conversation over the first round. It'll be a great time. Yeah. Like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe. Shout out to the sponsors for just always supporting the channel. Rio, Sanchez, Tony, watching on the daily. Shout out to them. We love those guys. You guys know Tony and Rio. They're on the channel regularly, pretty consistently with us. We always love them on. Yeah, just can't wait for the draft. You guys will see this on Wednesday, so it'll be about a day before the NFL draft. We'll see how things happen. Aaron Rodgers got traded. Does Sweat? Does Chase Young? Does Lamar Jackson get traded? Who knows? Who knows what will happen? Because like I said, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to stay ballin'. We'll see y'all out there.